Well, good morning, everybody. This is Pastor Jay coming to you from Cornerstone Church, and we are here today to do our Saturday Digging Deeper devotional. I'm doing it right before our morning service. We're having service on Saturday morning instead of Sunday morning this week because of the big storm coming in tomorrow. We are discussing, and have been discussing, Acts chapter 24, Paul before Governor Felix. And this is a sermon that was entitled last week. It was entitled Trust the Process. And as we go through ministry, as Paul went through ministry, he practiced certain principles that I think help us in the midst. And we've been talking about how we have to trust God's process of ministry. It's his process, it's his ministry ultimately. And so when he calls it to us, we must embrace it. I want to talk about two last principles really quickly that Paul practiced before Governor Felix. The first one is Governor Felix would bring Paul in, and throughout their 2 years together, and they had 2 years where Paul was ministering almost exclusively to Governor Felix. No, there was no other ministry really being done by him. People were coming to minister to Paul, but Paul didn't have opportunity to preach during those 2 years except to Felix. And Felix would come and have Paul talk to him about the scriptures, and Paul would do that. And then Felix would get saturated, and he would say, okay, that's enough, go away. This brings us to a place where, as Christians, as we share our faith, we need to be mindful, and to be mindful when the people that we are ministering to have had enough. And we need to know that we can't accomplish everything all at one time. We need to be willing to step back. The second thing that happened was, as Paul was stuck in this prison in Caesarea for these 2 years, he had little choice but to accept the limits that were upon him. And we have to recognize the same thing. We need to stop striving to break through the walls. I'm sure Paul was praying to be set free. But we need to recognize that God puts us where we are many times for a reason. There's this great quote from The Hobbit where Gandalf says this to Frodo. He says, it says this to Bilbo. I have found that it is the small, everyday deeds of ordinary folk that keep the darkness at bay. Small acts of kindness and love. Don't be afraid of your limits. Don't be afraid of how little it seems you can give. Just be willing to give what you have. Until we meet again, God bless you and be at peace.